Hello and welcome to another Nimble video tutorial. In this video tutorial I got a lot to cover, so I'm going to try to get right into it. This week I had the pleasure of playing around with Angular 2 and material design. Material design is like a bootstrapping or theming library that can go over Angular or works with Angular. As with everything with Angular, performance is always an issue. So I took an hour today to hurry up and build a quick input box that follows the same or works the same as the one featured with the material design library. I wanted to build this to show exactly how quickly I could put together a pretty dynamic and slick looking animated input box for nimbleJS. I added a double click event on the surface so that I could change the background so you could get a real good look at this effect. Basically it's just an input box, a label sitting over top of it that represents the placeholder text. When you click on the label, it fades back to become the top of the label of the input, and then you can now enter information. If you don't enter any information in on blur, it returns back to the original state. This I wanted to show this because when you use material design, you use SVG, a whole bunch of other components, and it really does become a performance issue when you start to use more and more components, when you can use a simple approach like this with nimbleJS. It's just a few elements and some CSS. When you look at all the videos and special effects that I show with Nimble, you probably get the impression that it's just about sliding objects around and animation, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. Behind the scenes, there's a great deal of memory management and data management to handle the MVVM interface. So I'm going to show you the pinnacle of why the Nimble data view push-pull method is what I think awesome. So today I'm going to show you a full stack implementation using the Perl service backend and nimbleJS. The Nimble Web Libraries allows you a custom interface or command language that allows you to build widgets and controls and directly interface with the IDE so that you can build virtually anything you want for the IDE with very little work. So I've built a Perl library with an interface that will attach to any dialog and gives you create, read, update, and delete functionality to a backend Perl script. Once you've added the control to the dialog, we can build this app now, and we should have a full stack application. Because it uses external libraries, the Nimble IDE will warn you that it's about to copy in the CGI and Perl module, and then the application is built. If we refresh the virtual desktop, we should get the new app. And in this case, I use the Nimble version 1.0 XP theme, just for fun, just to make sure the old legacy design still works, and we have a full-scale interface that will we have a full-scale application that goes to a back-end Perl interface. However, we need to deploy the scripts. So you'll notice inside your www.cgi folder you have a server hash, which will already have on my server to build hash tables, and then you have the form full stack CRUD CGI file. This is the custom file that is built for any dialog that you have in nimbleJS so that you can send data to and from. Once it's deployed, we have to update the file permission so it's executable. just refresh the app to make sure the database gets initialized at start. And now we can begin adding new record to the database. So I'm going to add just 2 here. Add a second one. We've updated that record. Now we can look at the previous record, and you'll see that it's going out to the server and pulling in that data. I wanted to quickly demonstrate that, and then I'll give you another look with a more complicated interface. If you remember this interface, this is the same interface we used to pull data in from the random user me database and that external server. So we're going to apply that same backend or that full stack Perl script to this interface. And now what we've just done is the ability to get data from his server and now push it and save it to mine. You press F8, build this application, and give it a try. This is called the FullStack 2 application. It gives you the warning that you're about to deploy some files that were not originally included in your project. And then it will start the virtual desktop. Just like before, we have the FullStack 2 CGI file that we're going to deploy to my server. Take this file and update the permissions so that it is executable. And now I'm going to give you a look at the network traffic when we launch this file. We launch the file, and you will see the FullStack.js application was launched within a init command and the fields that represent this view. That tells the backend service to create the database, in this case a hash table, and get ready to start accepting data. We still have the ability to hit the random user me database and pull in users as always, and you'll see I can pull in as many users as I want. But let's see if we can create a new record, get user data, and then update it to my database. Create a new record, get a user data, and update it. Let's just get 5 of these guys. And now we have 5 users in my local database. If you see now, I'm going to the original FullStack as I pull in, previously saved user records. I can create a new record again, get data from his server, and then update it to mine. I wanted to give you a good look at this because I just ordered all of I've been programming JavaScript for about 4 years, and I've been rusty when it comes to C# and all of my back-end languages. So I ordered all my .NET and .NET services, C# books, and I'm going to get back into my roots with C and C#, and I'll probably be pulling slowly away from using JavaScript. I think when it comes to the JavaScript frameworks, I've reached my my pinnacle of what I can do, what I can prove I can do when it comes to JavaScript. That being said, I'll experiment with C#, Mongo, Node, Express, and start moving slowly away from any of these current frameworks, because as far as I'm concerned, Nimble is where it's at. I don't want to end this video without providing a little laugh this weekend. So I was looking around online and I found this cool video. When you go and search for anything that has Nimble in it, you find some really cool pictures. So I built this meme to show exactly that Nimble is ready for prime time. Thank you for watching.